He's a WWE producer / WWE veteran.
You're a 3-time WWE Tag Team Champion.
He's a former WWE Cruiserweight Champion. She's a broadcast personality, former member of the Nexus. He's a 4-time Emmy-winning TV host.
Canadian Wrestling Hall of Famer. She's an ACW Women's Champion, and she is the daughter of the late, great British Bulldog. Winner of WWE's Cruiserweight Classic.
TJ Black from Ring of Honor. TJP, a.k.a. TJ Perkins. Georgia Smith. Darren Young. Arnold. Ariel Blake.
Chris Van Vliet.
Wrestling Classic, a.k.a. Justin Dillon.
Please welcome Tyson Kidd, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of DropKick Podcast. Today we're doing a little something different. That's right, we're not doing our usual interview, but we're joined by the Wrestling Classic, aka Justin. He's been on our show before. The TWC show is his very own show, which he does every single week. You can find that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. And also make sure to go follow him on Instagram at the TWC Shop.
It's TWC Worldwide. This guy totally butchered the intro, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I made him do it for a second time.
Whatever.
He did it really well. He did it really well the first time. But today's episode is very special. These guys invited me on here to be the moderator for their mock draft. Of course, those of you who have been following WWE know that starting this Friday on Smackdown, the draft begins. It's a 2-day draft that goes on Friday and then Monday on Raw. It's time for the WWE to shake things up like they do every once in a while. The last draft we had was last year, and I don't want to spend time talking about it, but I think we can all agree for the last couple of years, since like 2016 when they've done the draft, it hasn't really been that great because they keep doing these things with wild cards and people allowed to come to other shows and stuff. It's been weird, but we're hoping after this draft things are shaking up and feeling better. But you guys came with me to the idea of doing a mock draft show because the draft's coming up. I said it makes no sense for 3 of us to be on here with only 2 brands, but I'm like, I can moderate it, and then I came up with some very interesting rules. So I'm gonna go down what the rules are for this draft as I hijack this show. First things first, both Vic and Daniel will get 20 choices. Okay.
Yeah.
We said 15, but we're gonna go with 20 draft picks. And they're going to go back and forth saying who the draft picks are. They have to pick women, tag teams, and even like mid-card talent, and it can't just be top-tier talent. They have the option to pick some part-time wrestlers. And when I say part-time wrestlers, that's Triple H, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, The Rock, Kane, The Undertaker. Batista is also in that part-time category. They're allowed to pick any part-time wrestlers they like. There are a few wrestlers that aren't in the WWE no more that I've given veto of, like, you can still choose them, and that's women like Ronda Rousey, the Balor Twins, and Kairi Sane. And also, as we go along, we get more into the rules. But the coolest thing I thought was the wild card rule. Yeah. So I gave Daniel and Vic the option of picking 2 wild card choices. One has to be male and one has to be female. That being said, the wild card, you can also draft stables and tag teams too, but the wild card is one male thing and one female thing. So we can either have, and when I say wild card, that means it can be anyone that's working for any other company. It can be an AEW wrestler, a New Japan wrestler, a Ring of Honor wrestler. It could be someone that isn't it can't be like a Shawn Michaels or a Stone Cold. It can't be anyone that's like old school. It has to be someone that's currently wrestling or somewhat active towards professional wrestling or would still be wrestling on the independents. Younger people from like the 2010s forward that would still be wrestling on the independents, wrestling in Japan, wrestling in AEW, or if they were just involved wrestling. It could be a Pat McAfee. It could be a Tyson Fury. It could be a Floyd Mayweather. It could be, what's his name? Conor McGregor or something. Anybody that would somewhat be tied to wrestling and still kind of active to be that wild card choice. And that goes for the women as well. You can draft any woman that's an Impact or AEW or was around in the early 2010s, whether it's like Caitlyn or AJ Lee or Eve Torres or Maurice or whatnot. So those are the rules. Obviously, as we go along with this draft, if something's not going for the rules, then I will step in and be like, that makes no sense. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to make that draft pick. That's stupid. I know from talking to Daniel and Vikram a bit that there are a few surprising things that are going to happen here. And I know I'm rambling on, but I think Vikram did a really good job because he's Monday Night Raw, so he's got that red light behind him. And he's drafting for Monday Night Raw, and Daniel's drafting for SmackDown. Is there anything you guys want to say to each other before this draft begins and we figure out and we move forward?
Raw sucks, bro.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'm going to say that Fox taking over ruined your show. Hopefully you can fix it.
Whatever.
Daniel's got his list, a list of Jericho there for his draft picks.
I got something else to say, brother. Let's do it. Do we get the coin?
So,
All right, man.
So wait, wait. First things first. Before we get to the coin tossing for the draft picks for the actual rosters of each other's show, let's build the character of each show. Okay. We're gonna go back and forth first for the titles. Okay, we're gonna have a world title, a mid card title. Okay, we're not gonna bother with the women's and the tag titles because you're both gonna have respective women's and tag titles. But if you were gonna have world titles and the a mid card title, what would they be? We'll start with Vikram. What would be your mid card title? Let's start with the mid card title first.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the classic white strap Intercontinental Championship.
All right, Daniel, what's your mid card title? It doesn't have to be United States title. It could be, I don't know, something else.
Ooh. I'm bringing back the European title.
All right, he's bringing the European title to SmackDown. Now, since he went first for the mid card title, Daniel, what would be your world title?
Oh shit. Okay. I'm bringing back the big gold title.
Oh, it's no Universal Championship on SmackDown.
Nope. Big
gold. The big gold title. What about you?
The classic.
What about you, Vikram?
Okay.
You just go to. I think you need to have the WWE title. I think that's like that.
It'll be a WWE title.
But which one is it?
Okay, so here's the. No. I love the spinner, but that's not what it's gonna be.
I was about to kick you off
So
here.
it's gonna be.
I was about to make a new rule that it can't be an ugly title. But okay.
It's gonna be an old school championship, but with my own little tweak to it, because this is Monday Night Raw. I will be bringing back the Winged Eagle Championship.
Okay.
Instead of a blue globe, it's gonna be a red globe.
Okay, sweet.
Change it up
Brand colors, I get it. Now, also before we get to the actual drafting the rosters, I told you guys that you guys get to be in charge of creating your own commentary teams. This could either be a 2-man booth or a 3-man booth. You have to choose between people that are either in the WWE as commentators now, which leaves you with, the Michael Coles, the Vic Josephs, the Tom Phillips, the Graves, the Nigel McGuinnesses, the Wade Barretts, and the Beth Phoenix of the world. Or you could use people that were also WWE personalities that may not really be commentators at the moment. Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, Triple H, people that are on WWE's Fox backstage, like Booker T, CM Punk, Christian, Renee Young, or whatever. It could be Mauro Ranallo, who just left. So I'm going to let you guys pick your commentary teams, but for this one, I don't want to pick who goes first, so I'm going to make you guys do one round of rock, paper, scissors for me really quickly. And the winner of this one round of rock, paper, scissors gets to say their commentary team
All right,
first.
let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, Justin, give us a countdown or something.
3, rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to say, okay, rock, paper, scissors. Oh, Daniel won with the scissors.
Woo!
So, Daniel, who is your 2 or 3-man
Okay, let's fucking do this.
For the SmackDown on Fox?
I got Mr. CM Punk coming to SmackDown.
Nobody can draft CM Punk as a wrestler now. He's the commentator for SmackDown.
He's gone. He's out of here. He's coming to my show. That's right. And then I got Booker T. Can you dig that?
Yeah.
And then final one. Okay. I got Renee Young coming on.
Renee, Booker T, and C. So you took the Fox backstage crew and you just put them onto the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Okay.
Vikram, who's your commentary team for Monday Night Raw?
Okay. Well, I don't think you've clarified this with people, but we're a little bit lenient on people who just left the company.
Yeah.
So Mauro Ranallo will be my lead commentator for Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna have him joined alongside by Christian.
Okay.
Well, I actually wrote that as a pick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And by his side, I'd like a veteran of the game in Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and more. So okay, both of you guys are counting the whole female commentary, bro. I'm actually kind of surprised, like personal opinion, surprised nobody picked Corey Graves. That was interesting to me.
Yeah. Well.
I was debating on him and Michaels by.
I also
chose
thought
Shawn.
that Daniel was gonna pick Morrow. I thought it was gonna be CM Punk, Booker, and Morrow, but the Renee Young thing was a
I had to throw in there, man. Our fellow Canadian.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we got Morrow. You said Morrow, Christian, and Shawn Michaels on Raw.
Yeah. Morrow,
Okay,
Christian,
CM
Shawn
Punk,
Michaels.
Booker, and Renee. So 2 wrestlers on the commentary team on both sides. Well, ex-wrestlers, I should say, and then 2 actual wrestling journalists or analysts or just broadcasters, and Mauro Ranallo and Renee Young. All right, so this is where we go to time to draft our rosters. So you guys get 20 picks. You guys have to pick women. You guys have to pick men. You guys have to pick tag teams. You have the ability to pick full stables if you like. You can draft a New Day all together, stuff like that. You can pick from NXT. You can pick from Raw, and you can pick from SmackDown of the current roster. You get 2 wildcard picks, 1 male, 1 female, and you have the option to pick some part-timers if you want to have guys on your roster that might not be there every week. The other thing I always kept saying to you guys is make these choices and like kind of pre-think of like what angles and storylines would be your show when you were making these choices. I also told you guys to consider what if we would have continued doing something like this every week and I came back here and I had you guys book your shows for me. Week 1 of Danial SmackDown, week 1 of Vic's Raw. Like what if we came back every week and we had you guys tell me like your 10 segment shows? That's how I wanted you guys to take this draft in and how I wanted you guys to make your choices wisely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys did. But now we have to come to the point where who goes first here. I don't have a coin. Does anybody have a coin?
No, I don't. Can you grab a coin real quick?
I don't know.
Let me see if I have
Should
one.
we rock, paper, scissors this best of 3?
I think I have a coin.
But can we trust you?
That's what I'm saying.
You're not the
Can we
moderator.
trust it?
I got a quarter right here.
I'm the moderator.
Come on,
Okay.
Wrestling Classic.
Okay.
Is there a flip coin app?
Yeah. Go on Google. Just do a quick flip coin.
Let's see, because I'll flip the coin, man. Is there anything else you guys want to add to each other? Is there anything? Do you guys have any surprises in mind?
Yes, I do.
Don't tell me the surprises, but do you guys have them?
Oh, of course. I can't let you know right away. What do you think I am? Huh?
All right, so there is a flip coin app, guys, that I am downloading here.
Oh my god.
Just let me flip this quarter.
No, we can't trust you. You're not
we
the.
can't trust it.
You probably want the advantage, so you can like I don't know, probably draft your boy Jonathan Cena.
Oh, we're the red brand. We need the extra talent for our hour.
So what are the chances that you draft John Cena? Because I know you love John Cena.
Yeah,
We've
very
heard
high.
all day.
My 2 favorites of all time, John Cena and Edge, man.
Are you planning to like? Oh, Edge is another person that you guys consider as a part timer. Okay, so you guys need to tell me heads or tails.
Heads. All right, I'll get tails. Whatever. I got tails.
Tails a flip coin thing. I'm gonna tap it.
Jesus Christ.
Tails wins. It's not the head. It is not. And listen, man, this is an app. I can't rig this. You guys looked at it. That is the building.
Okay.
So now we're going in the order, and Daniel is first. You've been having the luck of rock, paper, scissors and the luck of the coin flip. This is I don't know. Daniel, who is if you guys are watching me look at my phone, it's because I'm typing these guys' picks. But Daniel, who is your first choice for Friday night Smackdown?
Right, let me get my list here, bro. I wish we can use theme songs because I'm taking John Cena as my first
John
pick.
Cena has been drafted to Friday night Smackdown.
Wow.
Man. This is the steal. Part-time of John Cena will now be exclusive property to. How do you feel, Vic?
Honestly, man. Obviously, one of my favorites of all time, but he's a part-timer now, man. You gotta invest into a future.
Wow, you justify
Or
it.
should I say?
Don't act like you're not sad.
You gotta invest in a future, or should I say?
Wow.
An undisputed future, because I'm taking the entire undisputed era to Monday Night Raw.
A whole group of 4 people for your one John Cena. Hopefully that was a bang for your buck, Vic, because this guy, he didn't even let you steal one of the Undisputed Era members. He's taking the whole group. Okay, sorry. So now, Vic, number 2 for you, man. Who do we got here?
My number 2 pick?
Oh, Daniel. My bad. Or should we go
Yeah.
like that? Go back and forth maybe. Because he was
Let's go
first
back
this
and
one. Do you want to go first this time?
Let's
And we'll go back and forth?
Yeah.
Vic, first this time.
Okay.
Who's your number 2?
All right. My next pick is, it's his show, so the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, alongside his disciple, Murphy.
All right, you're taking the team of Rollins and Murphy as a group. This guy, Daniel, do you see what this guy just did? He literally, in 2 picks, drafted 6 people.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, that's smart. But I took the bigger draw.
That's true.
So yeah, obviously he's gonna say that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think John Cena's a good draw. Then Peter and Seth
whatever.
all together. And so far, this guy just obviously it's his show and he can book them how he wants. But thus far, this guy just drafted a bunch of bad guys. Daniel, who's your number 2 pick?
I got Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman coming to my show.
Reigns and Heyman 2. Friday night Smackdown as number 2. This guy's picking the draws. He's picking the guys that like the marks. He's picking the casual fans are going to tune into Smackdown to see John Cena and Roman Reigns. The hardcore fans are tuning into Raw without a doubt,
yeah.
which is kind of what they did in real life recently.
That's actually pretty cool. I like the dynamic here.
All right, so Daniel, Vic went first last time, so you get to go first this time. Who's your number 3 pick?
I got. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I got the Hurt Business coming, bro.
Oh, he's okay. He's
Okay.
got the Hurt Business. So for those of you who aren't watching frequently right now, that's MVP, that's Bobby Lashley, that's Cedric Alexander,
MVP.
and that's Shelton Benjamin.
Oh,
So he's catching up with you in the numbers of people drafted here.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I had Undisputed Era, and then this guy took it.
Yeah.
Smart on you, though.
Who's number 3 for you, Vic?
Number 3. Well, you took someone who's tied as my favorite of all time. Not letting you take the next one. So the Rated R Superstar Edge is the first part-timer to come to Monday Night Raw.
First part-timer to come into Monday Night Raw is none other than the Rated R Superstar Edge. Going to Monday Night Raw, he's on the roster with Seth Rollins and Undisputed Era. Dude, Edge versus Adam Cole, Edge versus Roderick Strong, an Edge and Seth Rollins feud. Seth tried to break this man's neck. The Monday Night Messiah versus the Rated R Superstar. That's got a ring to it, if you ask me, man. But since Vic since Daniel picked number 3 first, Vic, number 4, who's your 4th pick for Monday Night Raw?
The phenomenal
Fuck you, that was my pick.
AJ Styles.
Oh,
Honestly, knowing both of you, the fact that you took John Cena, this is almost like him stabbing you back by taking AJ Styles from you. How does it feel, Daniel?
Oh, I'm wearing my Bullet Club shirt too. This hurts 10 times more than it should. But you know what? That's not going to hold me back because, are you ready for this one? I got Cesaro and Shinsuke coming to my show.
Okay, as a team, and you know what? You can break those guys up.
I can break them apart
at some point.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. What you know about that? So wait a minute. So who went first that time? Oh no, Daniel goes first this time now.
Daniel gets another pick.
Number 5. What's your next pick, Daniel?
I got the Legend Killer Randy Orton.
Oh, this roster and SmackDown. You got Orton, Cena, Roman Reigns,
Shinsuke, Cesaro.
Shinsuke and Cesaro. I mean, I'd tune in, man. I'd tune in. You got Randy.
Watch, brother.
The only reason I might not tune in is if that part-time of John Cena shows up. And starts beating up the Hurt Business all by himself or something. But I'll tune in. Raw's looking stacked too. Like
Raw's fucking good.
Huge Randy. Seth Rollins is probably one of my favorites of all time right now. Edge is one of my favorites of all time. AJ Styles is a banger. Undisputed is stacked. Vic's not doing bad here.
Vic's doing good.
Vic, you got to pick your number 5 person. But the only issue with this, and there's not an issue, I'm just bringing this up, is you guys are 5 picks in, and neither of you have picked a woman to fill your women's roster, which is kind of pathetic. But go ahead, Vic. Who's your next choice?
Well, you speaking of women, so I'm going to draft the current SmackDown Women's Champion, but Bayley is coming to Monday Night Raw.
This is the real first pick, guys. This should have been the first pick. Bailey's irrelevant without the legit boss, the blueprint, the GOAT, the standard Sasha Banks. But that's cool. You want to take the boring...
You know what?
Karen haircut.
Whatever. You can call her whatever, but you know what? I got Sasha Banks coming to my show, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Number 6 from SmackDown, Sasha Banks is on the blue brand. Daniel drafted the show. I'm going to watch clearly because the boss is there. Oh, that's it, dude. I'm tuning into SmackDown every week just because Sasha Banks is there. There you go. But, who's your number 6 pick then? Vikram?
My number 6 pick is going to be a combo of Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak.
Oh.
Okay, now I got to think about that one.
But I don't know if they're together. That's the thing.
I'm not. All right, I'll tell you. I'm not putting them together. I just realized I can take both of them. I really want Daniel Bryan.
But can you, though? I need to think about that one. Because how long were they really together for?
A month.
They were together when Bryan left.
But, like, if we were watching... I know this is still not realistic technically, but if we're going to be somewhat realistic, do you think this Friday on SmackDown they're going to be like, you can draft Daniel Bryan and Gulak as a team?
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone so far, like, I can see them being like, okay, Seth and Buddy. I can see them going Shinsuke and Cesaro. I can see Hurt Business and Undisputed going together. But I don't know if I can see them be like, I'm drafting Bryan and his coach. Because now Gulak's been running around with the 24/7 title. That it seems like they'd be separate.
Okay.
So Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So Daniel Bryan is the 6th pick for Raw, which honestly, pretty solid. Like,
pretty good.
I just want to stop here. We're 6 picks in. You have Undisputed Era, Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, Edge, AJ Styles, Bayley, and Daniel Bryan. Like, that's
pretty good show. I'd watch.
Stacked, dude. Like,
stacked to dig it. All right. I'm next, right?
Yeah. For your 7th. Wait, you went first for Sasha Banks that round, so Vic actually gets to go next for 7.
Okay. So this is me next?
Yeah.
I'm going to be drafting the Street Profits.
Thank God.
The Street
Thank
Profits.
God you didn't take him.
Street Profits are going to Monday Night Raw. That is technically, actually no, I guess technically your second legit tag team because you do have Undisputed Era, which gives you Fish and O'Reilly. You know, Daniel has members of the Hurt Business, Enya Cesaro and Nakamura. But Daniel, who is your 7th pick?
I got the prize fighter, Kevin Owens, coming to my show.
Kevin Owens is going to the SmackDown. Dude, Kevin Owens, babyface Kevin Owens versus a Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman.
Ooh,
I don't know, man. Owens
money.
versus Orton. Owens trying to kill Cena for the millionth time. I'm game.
I'm game too, brother.
So now we're going to number 8. Daniel, you get to go first because Vic went first the last time. So who's your 8th pick?
I got Miz and Morrison coming to my show.
Another team, The Miz and John Morrison, are going to SmackDown as per Daniel here, and we're going to move forward. Vic, who's your number 8th pick for?
I am going to NXT UK to bring the entire faction of Imperium to Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Imperium. Okay, I'm with it.
Alright.
There's going to be a good big single star, and I don't know the name of the rest of them, so we're just going to say Imperium, okay? So on that note, Vic, you get to go first this time for pick number 9 because Daniel went first last time. Ooh,
Absolutely. So I'm going to say my next pick, if I can package them together, I want to bring The Fiend to Monday Night Raw alongside Alexa Bliss.
Oh.
Due to current storylines, yes, you can.
Okay.
Just because as of right now on TV, they've technically been kind of together, and you would assume they're both going to go in the same place. So I'll be like, yeah, you know what? That's fair game. You get The Fiend and Alexa Bliss.
All right.
Which, you know what? The good thing about that is you actually have another female that can potentially feud your poor choice of Bayley. So, because for some reason you thought Bayley should be drafted before the standard, the blueprint, the boss, the GOAT, Sasha Banks. I don't know what you were thinking. So, number 9 for you, Daniel.
Oh man, I got Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode coming to my show.
All right, another tag team for the Blue Brand, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, and you can use them separately. Same with Miz and Morrison. So you're piling it up here. I want to point out, Daniel, that at least Vic has 2 women now on his roster with Bayley and Alexa Bliss. You still
it's coming.
Boss.
It's coming.
And don't get me wrong, the boss can be on the show all by herself and still kill it. I know,
100%.
but tell me who you got coming up next.
I think that's you, Vic.
It's you.
It's you.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah.
I already picked those.
Yeah, but you did Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. He did Fiend and Alexa first, so now you get to go first.
Oh, okay, got you. I want Io Shirai coming to my show.
Io Shirai, okay, perfect. I'm gonna put that down there for you. 1 second. Why Io Shirai? What's your background on that one?
She's a phenomenal talent. We've seen that on NXT. And her and Sasha Banks can make magic, So that writes itself right there.
Sounds good. I'm just trying to make sure I noted down you guys' commentary teams too before I forget. So it's Christian Morrow and Shawn Michaels. Okay. Yeah. So he said Io Shirai as his 10th pick. So you guys know you're at 10 picks now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you both have 10 picks left. You guys both still have your 2 wild cards. You guys haven't even pulled those out yet. 1 woman from anywhere, 1 male from anywhere. So his number 10 pick was Io Shirai. Vic, who is number 10 for the Red Brand Monday Night Raw?
I'm going with 2 Mysterios, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio.
Fuck.
Rey and Dominic Mysterio going on Monday Night Raw to continue their feud with Seth and Murphy for another 10 weeks. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, man. You can get creative there. The Mysterios against, the Street Profits. The Mysterios against Undisputed Era. AJ Styles could be messing with the Mysterios. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Rey and Alexa Bliss could be haunting Dominic. I don't know. Okay, so number 11 goes to you, Vic. Who's your number 11 choice?
Number 11 will be Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy's coming to the Raw Brand. Number 11 for you, Daniel.
Number 11. Can I pick DIY together?
I mean, yeah, they were a team at one point.
All right, I'm taking DIY.
Gargano and Ciampa are going up to SmackDown as a tag team. There we go.
Shout out to Mike.
There were some surprising people that none of you guys have picked yet, to be honest. I'm kind of I'm kind of thrown off here. There's some big names, some even current champions that haven't been picked yet. Let's go to number 12, and you get to go first, Daniel, because you just went last.
Next one I got coming up is can I bring back Paige or no?
Yeah, I said you guys are allowed to bring back Paige.
All right.
Fantasy draft. Paige is back on the Blue Brand. That's number 12 for Daniel, and he's got 3 women finally. The man that isn't the biggest women's wrestling fan has 3 women.
What do you mean? I love women's wrestling.
Vikram, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my female wildcard pick now.
Oh.
I'm bringing AJ Lee back.
AJ Lee
WWE.
is going to the
Raw.
Wow, you're separating her from her husband on different shows. Okay.
Come on,
AJ Lee is on Raw. That is the wild card pick for Vic.
Well, I have a question. Paige was a wild card or no?
No, she was just you're allowed to pick.
Okay. All right, cool.
You have AJ Lee, Bayley, and Alexa Bliss. That's solid. That's solid. That's a solid crew. So who's your next pick, Vic, for number 13?
Yeah, number 13. I just think this is a great 2-in-1 combo. I could use as a tag team or as 2 single stars. I'm going with Angel Garza and Andrade.
That's fair. Garza and Andrade are coming to the Raw Brand. Fair. Okay, 13 for you. And you know what? Do you want Zelina with them?
Yes. I would like her with them.
I know that was a cop-out, but I just figured,
Just throw it in there.
None of you guys are going to pick her. I already know you guys are dead. But
Zelina, I love you. Zelina, I swear.
Daniel's going to pick you the whole time. I'm joking.
Oh, my
Number 13, Daniel, who do you got?
I got Drew McIntyre coming to my show.
The world champion has not been picked till the 13th round?
Hey, man, I have to keep it a surprise.
Wow. Surprise for sure. 13 rounds and the world champion is finally picked. Shows how you guys feel about Drew McIntyre. Okay,
I
Daniel,
love Drew, though.
number 14, Daniel, who do you got?
Who do I have? Oh,
So
baby.
far, I want to point out that you technically have just Sasha, Io, and Paige. And for tag teams, you have members of the Hurt Business, Cesaro, Shinsuke, Miz and Morrison, Ziggler and Roode. I mean, Johnny and Ciampa. You got pretty solid tag teams. But yeah.
I want to pick. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn's going to the blue brand. Smart pick. I was wondering when someone was going to pick him because
He was on my list. Don't worry. I love
number 14 for you, Vic.
Mr. NXT.
Let's strengthen up this tag division a little bit. I'm going with the Usos.
Okay.
Thank you. Some of the people that I was worried that you guys weren't picking are finally coming.
I had them on here.
Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, the Usos. These are all people I was curious about, so I'm glad you guys are picking up the Usos. Very unfortunate that we're splitting up the Usos and Roman. They won't be on the same show, but that's okay, man. That's okay.
I was honestly going to let him do it, but I just thought...
I was picking the Usos, yeah.
I might have been because I listed all the tag teams you already had. You're probably just like... But your tag division's not looking bad either. Like, you can use Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish as a team. You technically use Seth and Buddy as a team. You have the Street Profits and the Usos and members of Emporium. You have the Mysterios. Like, you have Garza and Andrade. Obviously, technically, you have a 3-hour show, so it's probably more fitting. But you know.
Yeah.
You guys are good. We both have good tag divisions. Like, I don't think we're like outdoing each other.
The one thing about, I'll say this, and when it comes to tag teams right now, is Daniel's tag division does really consist of guys that he could probably break apart and use as mid card or single.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Whereas Vic's tags division, like I mean, the Undisputed Era guys you could break apart, I guess, but I don't know. And then Imperium, the tag team part of Imperium, and then the Street Profits, and they just kind of all seem like traditional tag teams, you know?
Yeah.
Who went last, though? So you just picked the Usos, so that means Vic has to go first for 15.
Yeah. I honestly think your women's division is a little bit too small, man. I'm picking the Kabuki Warriors just to make mine a little bit bigger.
You stole my pick right there.
The Kabuki Warriors. So you know what, man? I mean, I don't like Bayley, but I like Alexa Bliss. I like Zelina Vega, which you snuck away with. I like AJ Lee, and now you have Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Pain. All my homies know is pain right there. Come on.
Dude, you gotta. I'd definitely be tuning into Raw, man. Number 15 for you, Daniel. And Daniel, you have Sasha, Io, and Paige. Like that's your women's division right now.
I got Candice LeRae coming up.
Candice LeRae, okay. Candice LeRae is going to Smackdown. So now we have, you know what? Sasha, Io, Paige, and Candice. I see some solid
classics, brother.
Yeah, some fights, some matches going on there. You also get to pick number 16 first, Daniel.
Oh man, I'm lucky. For my women's wild card, I'm picking Ronda Rousey.
Okay, so this is a thing. No, this is a good thing for you because I said Ronda and the Bellas are free property. That doesn't have to count as your wild card.
All right, screw all that. I'm taking Ronda.
Okay, and for those of you that I think I'm making this up, we were sending voice notes in a group chat prior to this draft, and if you listen to the voice notes in that group chat, Vic, I did say that Ronda, the Bellas, and Paige, and even Kairi Sane are all free game.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
All right, I got Ronda.
So Ronda Rousey's going to Fox. Number 16 for you, Vic.
We need a little bit more draw for the casual fans. Brock Lesnar is coming.
I was about to say Sasha Banks. The draw is already on the other show, but so poor Paul Heyman's gonna have to pay double duty here, or like what's going on? Which is okay. He can hop shows.
Cool.
Yeah, he's gonna have to, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paulie.
Yeah, he's working both shows. Let's be honest here. Paul only really has to show up on Raw when Brock wants to show up. So.
Yeah.
Which also avoids the whole idea of like, well, how is Paul with Roman and with Brock? But they're on two different shows. It's okay. It works.
It works.
Yeah. So we got you picking Brock Lesnar, which you know what? 16th pick, part-timer later in the round. Makes sense. You saved him for later because no one is going to pick a part-timer right off the bat. I mean, pick John Cena right off the bat. And
I just wanted to piss you off, so I picked that.
Like, how do you feel about losing John Cena? Like, did you have plans for John Cena on Raw?
Honestly, no. My plans was to draft Undisputed Era the first pick all along.
Wow.
I was gonna draft him around the same time as Brock.
We're gonna talk about this, but out of curiosity, like, what, like, when you envision your Raw, like, what do you think, like, the main angle is gonna be going into it?
Going into it, well, I want a prominent feud on this show to be a babyface AJ Styles feuding with Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era.
So out of the people you've drafted thus far, like, who would be, like, backing up AJ Styles against this 4-man group?
I'd say a pick that I got coming up.
I know who it is. Like, I already got it.
Would it be like the Street Profits backing up AJ? Would it be Jeff Hardy backing up AJ? Would it be the Mysterios backing up AJ?
They're not on my brand quite yet.
Okay, who just went last? Who just picked Brock Lesnar?
Me.
Okay, so that means you actually get to pick next.
And it's Finn Balor who's going to be backing up AJ Styles.
I knew he would pick Finn because I didn't even have him on my list.
How'd you didn't even pick Finn?
I didn't want him. I had other plans, and these plans will show up. I swear to God, I will rise to the occasion.
Daniel and his goddamn Eric Bischoff get up over there. He's not.
It's going to arise, and you will see.
Because we're cutting close to the end. We might have to go up to 25. I don't know how long we've been.
I'm fine with that. It'll be fine.
We're at 41 minutes. We got the time. We can go up to 25. Technically, I just want to point out that Vic has used one of his wild cards. You haven't used
on AJ Lee.
Yeah. Oh shit! Okay.
Because you thought Ronda was your wild card, but she's not. So you still get a female wild card.
And I'm not going to use that yet.
It can be anyone in AEW, any female in the Independents, any female in Impact or Ring of Honor or wherever else. It can be a female that, recently retired, a Kelly, a Summer Rae, I don't know, any other female. And there's a lot of female. I'm just going to throw them out there. None of you guys have drafted a Sonya Deville, a Mandy Rose, a Becky Lynch, a Charlotte Flair, a Nia Jax.
Come on, man. Give me the away.
You guys have been. I know you want Nia, Daniel. I know it's number one pick. I know you think she is the most coordinated, talented, non-botching, not like most girls superstar in the roster. I totally understand Daniel's infatuation with Nia Jax. You want that big strong beast on SmackDown trying to crush Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks and Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. And I also just want to point out the fact that we there's no Tegan Nox, there's no Rhea Ripley, there's no Dakota Kai. There's so many people that you got, and I don't even want to start with. There's a man that's not on either one of your lists right now that is blowing my mind because the potential of him that has been dropped on the main roster currently is ridiculous.
Do you want to go 25?
Number 17 is Finn Balor. We'll just keep going. Since 17 is Finn Balor for Vic, who is number 17 for you, Daniel?
For me, I got the man himself, bask in his glory.
Keith Lee is going to the Smackdown, man.
With this old theme, with everything you loved in NXT, it's coming to my show.
Ciampa, right. Gargano, Keith Lee, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Shinsuke, Cesaro, John Morrison, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Drew McIntyre.
Fucking stacked.
I'm not gonna lie, like, pretty damn stacked, and that's not even me going through the Hurt Business. On the other side, Undisputed, Seth, Edge, Styles, Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, the Street Profits, Bray Wyatt, Rey Mysterio, Garza, Andrade, Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor. So I just want to point out, like, the only wild card one in here is technically AJ Lee, and I'll say Ronda and Kairi Sane were kind of like extra little treats. It shows you how stacked the WWE roster really is.
Yeah,
it can be if it's used right, man. And you know what? Like, I wish they could use talent right, like Cesaro and not. Like, I wish they could use talent right, like Cesaro and not. But like, so many guys, man. Bobby Roode, Ziggler, Sami Zayn. He's currently killing it. But you know what I mean? Like, so many guys, so much potential wasted.
Yeah.
So it's wild. So okay, let's go to number 18. And Daniel, since you just picked Keith Lee, you have to go first for number 18.
I got the whole New Day coming through.
The New Day is going to Smackdown. Xavier, you guys haven't broken up any teams yet, so I'm happy for you guys. You know, that was I was letting you guys know you guys can be dicks and break up teams before someone picked them. For example, if at any point Vic actually picked like Big E, if he wouldn't have been drafted with the New Day, you're allowed to be able to break up teams like that, but that never happened so far. So you guys have been playing pretty clean. For Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Number 18.
I'm going with Shayna Baszler with Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
Oh, he's picking the whole crew.
The NXT stable.
Shayna Baszler with her goons. Okay. Yeah. All right. We got you get to pick number 19 first, Vic.
It's all about the game. Triple H will be on
He's
Monday
taking
Night Raw.
part-timer Triple H. So this is the thing about Raw so far. You have 3 guys on the show that might not be there every week, and that's Edge, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar, and that's okay. Because even without them, this roster is stacked.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like Ray, Fiend, Finn, AJ, Edge. I mean, well, I guess we just said Edge now. Undisputed Seth Rollins is there. How about number 19 for you, Daniel?
I got the Animal Batista coming back.
Batista's a part-timer going to SmackDown. Mr. Hollywood's going to show up there. Can you imagine a Batista-Roman Reigns feud? Batista and John Cena going at it again? Batista and Orton meeting again? Kevin Owens getting in Batista's face? Drew McIntyre and Batista? Keith Lee and Batista? I'm telling you guys, there's some stuff here, man. Bobby Lashley versus Batista, something we never actually got. Ciampa and Batista? Stacked. Number 20.
Never gonna happen.
Who knows, Johnny? 7. So technically, this is where we would have ended because we're at the 20th pick now.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep going a little bit longer. I just want to say, I get it. Like the picks you guys have picked are really important and valuable picks. Once again, I'm very surprised about the choice of women here.
It's coming, man. Come on, have some patience.
Okay, but since we're going to number 20 and you just picked Batista, I'm gonna say, Daniel, if it's up to you, you don't have to, but I would love to know your female wildcard choice if you have it now for number 20.
Like you want to know it right now?
Yeah. Do you want? Unless you don't want to use it yet.
I'll use it right now. Okay,
who's your female wildcard?
Beth Phoenix.
Oh, you're bringing Beth Phoenix. Okay. I don't know how to spell Phoenix properly, but okay.
Damn, you separated Edge and Beth Phoenix because it's different shows now.
Damn.
Beth Phoenix is on SmackDown. Okay. Number 20 for you, Vic. Who's your number 20?
I'm going to go with Alistair Black.
Thank you! I've been waiting this entire time for somebody to pick Alistair Black, and I wanted to go back to the Alistair Black that was on NXT. Please push it
that's
right
what I'm
way.
going to do.
Give him his old entrance. Take that goddamn pirate eye patch off him. Get him out of the dark room. Screw that dark room, and have Alistair Black be Alistair Black. Thank you. I'm glad that Alistair Black would have been in your top 20 choices because, man. Dude,
I didn't even write him down.
Alistair Black versus Kyle O'Reilly on an episode of Raw or on a pay-per-view. You know how much of a banger that match would be? Alistair Black in a feud against Walter. Alistair Black against Edge. Alistair Black against AJ Styles. Alistair Black against Daniel Bryan. Alistair Black against Rey Mysterio. And Alistair Black and Fiend feud. Like, dude.
Money.
What are you talking about? You didn't want out. Alistair Black versus Finn Balor. Imagine Finn brings a demon back to go against Alistair.
Oh, yeah.
Money.
You know, I'm up next, right?
You're up next. You get number 21.
We have Finn Balor, who can be the demon. We have the Fiend, who's dark in his own right. We have Alistair Black. We need a legendary dark superstar.
Oh, no.
So, The Undertaker is coming to Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
There you go. Undertaker's going to show up every January to March to be a part of Monday Night Raw, to face one of these guys a year. All right. We got The Undertaker. He's coming out of retirement on the red brand. Okay. Daniel, number 21.
I'm going to go with the men, Becky Lynch. She's coming to SmackDown.
All right. Becky Lynch is number 21 for Smack. And good job. Let me look at this. For the guy that isn't so fond of women's wrestling, we
Whoa. Hold on a minute there. I don't hate women's wrestling for who's watching. I actually like it. WrestleMania 32, the triple threat should have main evented. Banger. The best match on the card. Should have main evented. So Justin, don't just say shit like that. Like,
so we have Becky Lynch, we have Beth Phoenix, we have Candice LeRae, we have Ronda Rousey, we have Io Shirai, we have Sasha Banks. If you ask me, this is like, we were joking around about how you were probably gonna have the brand with bra and panty matches, but you got like the competitive wrestling brand here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like you have Sasha, Candice, Paige, Io, Beth Phoenix, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, like that's like a stacked pile of women there. And then on the Raw brand, we have Bayley, Alexa Bliss, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler with her goons. Also very stacked, Zelina Vega, if you want to throw her in there in the actual women's roster. So I'm gonna say, obviously there's a lot of women left over, but I want to say you guys did a really good job with the women.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Still Naomi out there. There's still a bunch of people out there, but like, let me ask. We're gonna go to number 22, and Daniel, you actually technically get to go first for number 22. But is there a reason why the most decorated woman, Charlotte Flair, is not on either one of the lists yet?
It's funny because she's my next pick.
Number 22 to Smackdown is the Queen Charlotte Flair. 3 of the 4 horsewomen are on the blue brand. Who do we got for number 22?
The person who should have defeated Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley.
Monday Night Raw. You guys are stacking this women's roster. I'm very proud of you guys because I am a big fan of women's wrestling right now. Currently, I'll be blunt with you guys. I was not a fan of women's wrestling from probably like 2006 to till AJ Lee came around and NXT started popping off. So, I'm with this. This is good. So we're at 22 things. So 23, 24, 25. We're going to go up to 25. So people that aren't drafted doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to be on either one of these shows. We're just not going to go forever here.
Yeah.
But
wait. How many picks do we have left?
22, 23, 24, 25. 4 picks each.
4 picks each. Okay.
And
I'm gonna pick my men's.
Pick your wild card yet for the men.
That's coming at the end.
And Vic, you have yet to pick your wild card for the men too.
That'll come at the end as well.
Oh, look at you saving your wild cards, eh? For those who need to catch up really quickly, Beth Phoenix was a wild card female for Daniel, and AJ Lee was a wild card female for Vic on the red brand. Since Vic just picked Rhea Ripley, Vic, who is number 23 for the Raw brand?
I want a little bit more tag team action here.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm going to go with the tag team I feel has been pretty underrated on NXT. I'm going to go with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Oh, that's solid, man. I actually like that. Oney Lorcan.
I'm down with it.
I like how we're getting to past 20 and now it's we're getting some NXT talent. We're getting some, underrated guys and stuff here. There's still some names that are on the main roster that I'm surprised haven't been picked, but that's,
coming through, brother. Coming through.
To each their own. I mean, where's Slapnuts? Where's T-Bar? Where's Mace? None of you guys drafted Retribution. I'm just saying. At least Ali. I don't know. Number 23 for SmackDown?
Making me think here. I got Karrion Kross with Scarlett coming to my show.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Ooh. You know what? That didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even cross my mind.
Right for everything.
Wow. And you get Scarlett and Karrion. You get a package there. I thought Raw was trying to be the dark show with Undertaker and The Fiend and Alistair Black and the Demon Balor and, the Messiah, all these dark guys. And, now we have Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux on the SmackDown side of things, which means Karrion Kross versus Cena. Never thought we'd see it coming.
So much, bro.
Karrion and Roman. I could see Cena coming back for a part-time feud going to WrestleMania against Karrion Kross and getting behind that.
Oh,
Randy Orton and Karrion Kross. Yeah. You know what else you had the option to do here? Randy Orton versus Ciampa.
Dude,
Yeah.
possibilities are endless.
Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. Karrion
Keith
Kross and
Lee.
Kevin Owens.
Again.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Very good.
Number 24, Daniel.
Number 24, I got the King of Bros, Matt Riddle.
Oh.
Matt Riddle is going to the Blue Brand, the Smackdown. Were you going to pick Matt Riddle there, Vic?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you feel about that one? Has there been
okay.
anything that is that? But I don't want to talk about John Cena anymore because he doesn't deserve that much attention, anyways. But he's just a bunch of propaganda and politics. But I respect the hell out of John Cena, by the way. But I'm just saying, like 2006 to 2011, John Cena, you can't see Justin. Is there anyone that Daniel has picked that really, other than Matt Riddle right now, that you're like crap?
I had plans for the Hurt Business. I did.
Okay. How about you, Daniel? Vice versa. Was there anyone that Vic picked other than the Undisputed Era that you were kind of like crap?
I wanted Balor, Styles, and Yui on my show so we can recreate greatness, brother.
You never got the opportunity to do so. Okay, moving forward, man. Vic, number 24 for you. There's one more pick after this for both of you, and it better be your wild cards.
Oh, 100%.
So for this pick, it's tough because it's
this is technically your last
card.
Pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the trio if I can. If this does make sense, I know he just maybe split from them, but I want to go with Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali?
Yeah, I mean he didn't split from them.
I feel like I can give you Apollo and Ricochet, but not Ali.
Not Ali, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll go with Apollo and Ricochet, man. Two guys I can split off, be singles, mid-carders.
All right.
Which it does disappoint me, though, that nobody drafted Ali, though. I do want to say.
We don't want Slapnuts with him. That's the issue.
I mean, you don't need to draft Retribution. You could have drafted up Ali alone.
I love Ali. He's awesome. But
we're down to 20. Do you guys want to do a 25th pick and then the 26th wild card pick? Should we do it that way?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
So I get one more pick in the wild card and that's it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm next.
But
right?
Vic, you can go next because for 25 since you just went.
Yeah.
Who do you want? Who do you want for 25, Vic?
Okay.
He's just staring. He's like, what?
This draft made this man tired.
Let's see. I think I'm going to go with Mustafa Ali.
Oh, Ali, there you go.
Yeah.
Ali is on the red brand officially, capping that off for the actual full picks. These guys both have their last wild cards left. But before we get there, we need Daniel's final 25th pick. Daniel?
All right. Damn, that hurt, man. I was gonna take Retribution, but
were you really?
You can take them.
I don't want them anymore.
I only took Ali.
I don't want them anymore without Ali. But I'm taking Pete Dunne.
Oh, solid.
That's a good
solid
one.
choice.
Really good one. Yeah.
I'm taking the Bruiserweight, brother.
I mean, you could have done Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as a tag team, but this works too. All right, guys. Number 26, final wild card pick.
Can't wait for his reaction.
Unfortunately, I kind of already know Daniel's because he had to run it past me. I don't know what Vic's is. So
yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. Technically, I don't know how you guys want to do this. Technically, Daniel's supposed to go first, but because I know what Daniel's is.
Daniel goes first, man. Technically,
no.
we're not breaking the rules here. We're not breaking the rules here.
Right.
Make your pick.
Before we go there, do you have any predictions of what or who it might be, Vic?
I think it's a stable. I think it's a faction.
Okay. Do you have any ideas though?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Dan? Do you have any ideas who Vic might make his last wild card pick? Out of anybody in the world that's either a celebrity. You can't book. I never got John Cena, but I want the guy from the Firefighter movie. Like that doesn't work.
I think he's gonna take Conor McGregor. I don't know why. I have a feeling.
McGregor, Omega, Cody.
I would make McGregor a jobber.
The Young Bucks.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Okada, Jay White, Tanahashi.
There's so many people.
Naito. MJF. I don't know. He could be anybody. Christopher Jericho could come back to the Raw brand. But we have to follow the rules. And I guess I am the moderator. So that being said, Daniel, who is your wild card pick that is going to cause ruckus on the blue brand?
The Nexus, baby. They're coming back.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Vic?
I have two factions in mind. I gotta run it. I thought he was gonna pick the Bullet Club.
Oh, because he wore the Bullet Club shirt. But like, if he picked the Bullet Club, who's in like Tama Tonga guys? Like,
yeah.
That's
but okay, I gotta run this by you, man. Does this count?
Wait, this is your pick?
I'll take my headphones out for this.
This is your pick?
No, not Bullet Club.
No, but your pick is a faction too?
Yes.
Oh my! What's wrong with you guys?
Can I pick the Elite?
No.
As a faction. What?
I asked you the same thing.
We had this discussion.
Okay.
No.
Well, you know what?
Right now, at this current time, you'll guess the Elite's the Elite on the thing, but there are different people on AEW.
Okay. Well, then you want to know what? I'm going to go with Chaos from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a faction.
What the?
You know who they are?
Everything's a faction in New Japan Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's taking half the roster. You can't take Okada.
That means I get
You can't. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You can't pick Chaos. You can't pick the Bullet Club. You can't pick LIJ. You can't pick a whole group like that because they're not. That's the same thing as the Elite. It's a group of wrestlers doing different things that technically are friends. But like when you pick Nexus, like they came in as a group. When you pick the Hurt Business, they're a group. When you pick Undisputed Era, I couldn't let you separate them because they're a group. Those other people are groups, but they're like loose groups. You know what I mean? Like they're like
I get it.
Yeah. It was a great idea. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea. If you could take it, but then that's like another 7 picks of people. Like let's be honest. Like I love the Nexus, but who is it? Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Darren Young, Scott Sheffield, like.
Ryback.
Who else is there? I don't even know who's in there.
Michael Tarver, David Otunga.
Daniel Bryan doesn't count.
Half of his group here is going to end up being jobbers anyways.
That's true.
But you still.
So you know what? I'm going to go with the faction, a little bit of a smaller faction, but I think I can milk more out of this faction. I'm going to go with the Inner Circle.
Oh.
I'm getting Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Santana and Ortiz.
I can't argue that one. Oh my god,
that's good.
That's good. You got. I guess you got. I want to say that doesn't work, but it does. I guess. The Inner Circle.
Inner Circle taking control of Monday Night Raw, and the Undisputed Era comes in. Dude, I can book this shit right now.
Undisputed Era versus the Inner Circle. So Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara.
Two biggest wrestling factions of 2019 going at it.
Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz. All right, man. That's our draft, guys. That's our mock draft with a little bit of a twist. I hope everybody enjoyed the mock draft. How do you guys feel about your guys' final rosters?
I think they're both awesome.
Good shows. Good
we should
WWE
read them
television.
off one more time, just the full roster.
So I'm going to go down. Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go down the full rosters. We'll start with Monday Night Raw since it's a flagship show and it's 3 hours long. The commentary team for Monday Night Raw is Christian, Mauro Ranallo, and Shawn Michaels. So that's your team calling the action each and every week on the red brand. Number 1 drafted on Monday Night Raw was Undisputed Era, which is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. Number 2 was Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. The Monday Night Messiah remains on Mondays, and he's bringing his disciple with him. Part-timer, but the rated R superstar himself, Edge is on Monday Night Raw. The phenomenal AJ Styles is on Monday Night Raw. That Shadow Bailey's on Monday Night Raw. And also the man himself, one of the best wrestlers in the world for the last decade, Daniel Bryan, is on Monday Night Raw. The Street Profits are bringing themselves in the party to Monday Night Raw. This man drafted the entire Imperium, so you could have the Imperium messing with the Inner Circle. You can have Undisputed Era messing with the Inner Circle. But Imperium with Walter and the rest of the group that I can't remember is on Monday Night Raw. The Fiend and Alexa Bliss are coming to Monday Night Raw as a package. Crazy Alexa with Bray Wyatt, so I dig that. Bringing the Firefly Funhouse to Raw. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterio family that probably brings his wife and Aaliyah to Raw too, but they're on Monday Night Raw. The charismatic Enigma, Jeff Hardy's on Monday Night Raw. And for his 12th and first wild card pick, Vikram was bringing back AJ Lee to Monday Night Raw to spice up the women's roster there, to kind of spicing up the tag team division. Vikram brought Garza and Andrade along with Zelina Vega to Monday Night Raw, along with the Usos. And to kind of have the women's tag division be a little lit too, he's got the Kabuki Warriors. Brock Lesnar is coming to Monday Night Raw as a part-timer. Finn Balor is coming to Monday Night Raw, and that gives him the ability to also use the Demon Balor. Shayna Baszler is coming to Monday Night Raw with both Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. Triple H has been signed to Monday Night Raw as a part-timer. Alistair Black is on Monday Night Raw, which I thought he was picked way too late in this draft, but that's okay. The Phenom, The Undertaker, is on Monday Night Raw. At this rate, Vic has picked more part-timers, but that's okay. I mean, there's no Liv Morgan, there's no Ruby Riott, there's no Naomi, there's no Nia Jax, but we got The Undertaker that's going to show up for 4 months of the year. Number 22 is Rhea Ripley.
we need draws, man. We need ratings.
I mean, you're booking the territory. You can make any of these talent. Where's Tegan Nox? Where's Dakota Kai? Rhea Ripley's on Monday Night Raw. Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch are on Monday Night Raw. Apollo and Ricochet. Ali without Retribution is on Monday Night Raw. And last but not least, making a wild card choice is the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, Santana, and Ortiz leaving AEW, coming to Monday Night Raw to cause some chaos. Because he tried to pick chaos first. See what I did there? Going forward. On the blue brand, the Smackdown, we got number 1 pick for SmackDown. Daniel went with a part-timer for number 1 just to, he's acting cool, calm, and collected, but trust me, I've had conversations with this guy a lot this past week, and he is devastated inside. Like, it's probably when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. That's how Vic feels inside right now, because he is a hustle, loyalty, respect little bitch. But we got John on the blue brand, the biggest propaganda, overly pushed.
The best, one of the greatest of all time, best face of WWE there ever was.
Ruined wrestling for about 7 years for
the man who was the biggest draw in wrestling for about 7 years, an entire generation.
Stop watching wrestling.
The man who actually made the ratings go up during his run.
This guy,
the man who actually, the guy who's the best. The guy who actually was a bigger box office traction.
The man that couldn't hang with the indie guys.
Best ever. The man who's better than all the indie guys. The man who draws more than all the indie guys. The man who, when he left, the ratings actually went down because he was so damn popular. John Cena, the GOAT.
I already won with one pick.
And now we did that on purpose, and now you know how devastated it is that he didn't draft him. Like, now you understand why. Look how much this man loves John Cena, and Daniel stole him from him. Okay.
I had to, bro. I had to just.
No matter what, look at it. Vic has a great roster, but no matter what he books, it won't be the main event of WrestleMania because John Cena's around, and John Cena's a dick. I did skip the fact that the commentary team for SmackDown, personal opinion, I just think might be a little bit more fun because you have CM Punk, Renee Young, who are going to be cracking jokes, and then you have Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. Like, I mean. There's never a dull moment happening over here.
Exactly. Great stuff.
On the Raw side, you just have Mauro yelling on top of Christian and Shawn Michaels that they probably won't even be able to get a word in. Mamma mia. But
all you need is Mauro, really.
Honestly, yeah. He's the GOAT. He's literally one of the best.
Wow, we have another differing opinion here. So anyways.
Whoa, you're not a Mauro Ranallo guy?
I don't hate him. I think he's really good, but I did think there was a point where it just became a Mauro Ranallo show and nobody else could talk. And then you also couldn't say that.
Yeah.
Because then you get offended. But it's like, dude, sometimes Beth and Nigel were like unexistent. Non-existent. Sorry, my bad. Number 1 for SmackDown was Jonathan Cena. He's all right. Number 2 was the big dog, the tribal chief, the leader, Roman Reigns. You got 2 of the biggest stars in the first 2 picks there. Yes, I said John Cena's a big star. Calm down, Vic. It's okay. Number 3.
I mean, Roman's not one.
Roman's a huge star. Roman
and Cena
draw John Cena today.
Roman and Cena are gonna draw on my show. That's all I need to say.
If Roman failed to keep those Cena ratings up, that's all I'm saying.
Can we keep rolling with my picks, guys? Come on, we have a show to run.
John Cena was
The Monday Night Raw attendance and everything went down when this guy left. And
Yes,
they relied on
your show
Roman Reigns.
Your
who
show
can't even
doesn't
cut a
have
promo.
Cena, so your attendance is gonna suck. Is what you're trying to tell me now?
No, because I have Edge. I got Brock.
No.
Lesnar, I got
John
all these
Cena is
people.
God. John Cena is everything. John Cena.
No, because
everything.
the
God
Roman
bless
Reigns
John
isn't on
Cena
my
and the
show.
cult of C Nation.
Roman Reigns isn't on my show, so my attendance will stay up.
Yeah, we ain't
People
drinking
won't be
your
bored.
Kool-Aid. We ain't drinking your Kool-Aid, bro.
Number three.
SmackDown is the only show worth watching because Sasha Banks and Roman Reigns are there.
Oh sure.
All right, number 3 pick. Let's hear it.
The Hurt Business.
The guy who was irrelevant for years, even though he was on top, was still irrelevant. And the girl who can't successfully defend a championship.
He wasn't irrelevant. You just weren't a fan of him. There's a difference.
He wasn't a draw.
He was a draw. Go to any house.
Not big enough. Not big enough for the face of the company.
Cena didn't draw like Austin. Cena didn't draw like Hogan.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't.
Yeah, no, Paul Heyman literally said this. He was the biggest box office attraction
7.0 ratings when Austin was on top.
Dude, when Austin was on top, there was no such thing as the internet.
They had 12 million people watching Saturday night's main event when Hogan fought Andre.
There was no such thing as the internet.
I should have never picked Cena. So
there's no such thing as DVR.
Yeah,
like, go over his roster.
Here, and this is going too long. You're not letting me go through Daniel's
roster. Just go over his roster. Just go over his roster, man. If you guys want to hear a longer version of this debate, check out the TWC show because this is literally a copy and paste.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen to TWC show.
Got a Cena fan versus a Cena hater. If you want chaos.
He is Hurt Business with MVP Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. Number 4 is Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 5 is the Viper, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton himself. Honestly, you have Orton, Cena, and Roman Reigns. You're already killing it in my mind. Number 6, the Boss, the Blueprint, the GOAT. The best of all time. The draw, the only draw on the Blueprint.
When was their last successful title defense, man?
He's crying right now. He's like, fuck, you got me.
I'm pretty sure she beat Asuka before she lost.
Crying in the club right now, bro. Everyone, go check out Justin right now. I know he's going through.
Actually, check him out. Well, we don't actually argue like this all the time. We're actually.
Oh, we do. We hate Sasha. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I love Sasha.
We're only at number 6, which is Sasha Banks.
And it's already stacked.
Already stacked. Number 7, Canada's very own, the man himself, KO. Number 8, Miz and John Morrison. Another great team. You got the Dirt Sheet on your show. You got a whole television show. I guess technically Vic can bring back the highlight wheel with the Inner Circle. That's, one WWE. Yeah. That's a thing. Yeah. Number 9, we got Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. The thing about the last 2 teams is they could be used as single stars.
Singles guys, so much, man.
Number 10, we got Io Shirai. Number 11, we got Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. Number 12, we have Paige getting back into ring action. Number 13, we have Drew McIntyre. The current WWE champion got drafted at number 13, which was very shocking to me. Number 14 is the current Intercontinental champion in WWE, is Sami Zayn, which I think you have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You can pair them back up together if you really wanted to. Number 15 was Candice LeRae, which, you know what? You have Johnny and Ciampa. It was kind of cool that you got Candice there, too. It kind of worked out. Number 16, you want to talk about a draw? You got Ronda Rousey. She's a draw. People like to know what Ronda Rousey's up to. 17, you got the Keith Lee. You got the entire New Day, so you got entertainment there, regardless of the fact. 19 is, other than John Cena, I think this was the only other part-timer that popped up, which was Batista.
I had to.
Yeah,
Batista with the world title.
Him on the Blue Brand makes sense too. Him being on Fox, he's a big time actor. He's Drax, and Guardians of the Galaxy coming over there. And honestly, when I look back at it, like, yes, Batista in Evolution was great. When he broke up from Evolution was great, but I most of the time when I think of Batista, I think SmackDown.
Exactly. That's a show. 100%. 100%.
Number 20, we got Beth Phoenix. That was your female wildcard pick. I was actually shocked with that. Did you have any other ideas of who you might have picked? But
I had Tessa Blanchard in mind.
All right. So Tessa would have been the other option. You didn't want a Thunder Rosa or a Nyla Rose or
they're cool.
Or a Brandy Rhodes or or an Anna Jay. I love you.
Sorry, Sasha.
Number 21, you picked Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Number 22, you picked Charlotte Flair. So your women's roster, I'm going to say something that's really impressive. You picked 3 women in a row. Like you just stacked it up there, like out of nowhere.
Because the idea was I'm going to stack up the roster in my women's roster, and then I'm going to move into like the bigger groups like New Day, and then the Nexus at the end, right? It fucking worked.
This one shocked me, and I think this was like a huge scoop for you guys. You know, obviously, don't be wrong. Raw has Alexa and The Fiend, which is its own duo. That's going to be entertaining as hell. I kind of would have liked these two to go against each other, but Karrion Kross and Scarlett, like that was, I didn't see that one coming at all. Mainly, I think it's because Karrion's been injured, so I guess it kind of was like out of my mind for a second there.
Yeah.
Then when you said them, like, oh yeah, I'm like Karrion.
You know what's funny? I was gonna pick them. I was gonna pick Austin Theory instead of Karrion Kross and Scarlett.
Wow, that would have been disappointing.
It would have, right? But I'm like, wait, if I get Scarlett too, right? So it just made sense.
And then you picked Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
You picked Pete Dunne, and then the entire Nexus, which I've noted down as Wade Barrett, PJ Black, who's Justin Gabriel, Darren Young, Ryback, Scott Seffield, Michael Tarver, and David Otunga.
And you know what's funny? You can have Nexus go against the Hurt Business and like a whole invasion angle again. Literally, fuck.
You can have the Hurt Business like kind of go babyface and join up with John Cena to face the Nexus.
We can do that too. We can actually have the Nexus go over this time, which would make sense.
The one thing that was unfortunate is I was hoping you got to draft Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's what I actually wrote.
Having that angle of the Nexus trying to recruit Daniel Bryan back would have been a cool little story. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Here's my idea behind that. I wanted to draft Undisputed Era, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor, so I can go have them against. I can have three big factions: Hurt Business, UE, and Balor, Styles, and then I have Nexus. So three big things, man. Three big things, and then that was that. But Retribution, I wanted Ali with Retribution. That was my other thing too.
Retribution versus Nexus would have been something too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
On Vic's side, Vic. Just for example, if I messed with the rules a little bit, and I said, listen, you don't really need to technically draft Triple H because he's a COO, and technically he could show up on either show at any time. If I took that Triple H pick away from you, was there anybody else you would have wanted to draft?
I wanted to put Chad Gable on my show.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think he's a very underrated wrestler.
You know what's funny? I was also thinking of having Jason Jordan back on my show.
I'm doing American Alpha.
Yep. I don't know.
There was no Baron Corbin drafted.
No thanks.
There was no Braun Strowman drafted.
Who?
Braun Strowman's not bad, but
there was no Goldberg.
I can save Saudi money, right?
There's no Liv Morgan. There's no Mandy Rose. There's no Sonya Deville. There's no Naomi. There's no Tegan Nox. There's no Dakota Kai. I mean, these women could all show up at a show eventually if we kept going, but shocking.
NXT needs some people, man.
The NXT does need some people.
I guess
because they did bring back Ember Moon and threw her right back into NXT.
Where is my girl Carmella? Where is she on here?
She was on my list.
Oh, she was on your list.
I just didn't get to her, yeah.
So technically, she would have ended up on the Raw brand. Okay.
She would have ended up on Raw, yeah.
That's fair. Daniel, you did run something across me, and I don't want to go long. We're already at an hour 20 minutes, so we should probably cap this off pretty soon. But you did mention the idea, low key, before we came on here, like, hey, Justin, am I allowed to draft Shane McMahon? And if I do, am I allowed to have like a Raw Underground on SmackDown?
Like a Fight Club scenario.
Why did you change your mind about that?
Because I just feel like the Nexus coming back would be a way bigger deal. Everyone would be talking about the hottest show on that SmackDown. It's on Fox. It would just make more sense, But having Shane McMahon on SmackDown, like, it would be cool. But like, you gotta have guys like Karrion Kross, Kevin Owens. I feel like that's more like of the in-ring. It's not more of like the brawler style. And I don't have that many, like...
I mean, I think it's not a bad thing that you did that either, because if we look at Raw Underground, it's like, is it really Raw Underground? Because you have SmackDown Superstars showing up there, too.
That's what I'm saying. It just wouldn't make sense. And I'm trying to have my show, like, the wrestling show with, like, the woman, and you know what I mean? And having these new stars like Karrion Kross, DIY, Candice LeRae. So many names, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it wouldn't make sense.
When we talked about the Elite off the air, because Daniel did ask me about the Elite in a DM prior to this draft, he said, can I draft the Elite? I'm like, no, that won't work because they're technically not really, like, I can't really consider them, like, because even on AEW television, like, we know the Elite, but they're not, like, treated as a group on there all the time.
Yeah.
And it goes with the Japanese factions. Like, yeah, we know the Bullet Club and we know Chaos, but they're usually, like, yeah, But Japanese wrestling is different because they do a lot of tag team matches on the regular shows. But
Yeah.
I look at them as separate. But I joked around and I said, well, why wouldn't you just draft the Dark Order? You said,
and then that got me thinking. I'm like, wait, hold up. I can draft a fucking big faction. Let me bring back the Nexus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
would you consider drafting the Dark? Because when I joked with Daniel about the Dark Order, I was gonna say the Inner Circle, but
I thought he was gonna
the
draft.
Inner Circle. I'm giving him a pick. I'll try not to.
I didn't want Inner Circle.
I thought he was gonna draft the Bullet Club. I thought he was gonna draft the Bullet Club.
I didn't want Bullet Club.
When you told me that, like, I couldn't like use those loose factions, for me it was between the Inner Circle and John Moxley. Because I'm a really big John Moxley fan.
Yeah, so none of you guys want to draft a Moxley or an MJF.
I really wanted a Moxley, but I just thought it was a better investment in my show because, first of all, Jericho's a top name. Not only that, if I bring Jericho in, I can also bring in Sammy Guevara. I can also bring in Jake Hager. I can also bring in another tag team in Santana and Ortiz. So that's what ultimately led to that decision.
No, that's fair. There was just a part.
Smarter, though.
It was hard though. It was hard for me because I'm like, oh,
yeah,
man, I'll let you take the Inner Circle. Is that? And I was like, I guess it is. It is a group like that. It is
a faction. Yeah,
it is a faction. Like,
you can split them up too. Like Sammy Guevara can go do or Santana Ortiz can be like a tag, and then Jericho can do a singles run.
Same thing with the Nexus doesn't necessarily need to stay together the entire time. Eventually, you can get a Ryback out of that. You can get a
Wade Barrett. PJ Black, Dion,
you can have
so many
guys being the mid card fighting for your European title. Like you can mix it up. No Orange Cassidys for you guys. No Carmelas. No Archer.
Like I said, man, I feel like my show is stacked with like top household names like Roman, Cena, Sasha, Owens, Randy, Miz Morrison, Ziggler.
Actually, that's not true. I was gonna be like, you do have a lot of my current favorites, but at the same time, he has Styles and Rollins and Bryan and the Undisputed Era, and other guys that I'm really big fans of. I'm a big Bray Wyatt fan. I think that. And which one of you picked Alistair Black? Because that guy's the man.
Me.
Why was that such a late pick? What is it about Alistair Black that you guys don't like?
I love Alistair Black. I just think WWE turned me on. I got nothing against WWE. They got their own creative decisions and all that stuff. Just for me personally as a fan, with his new theme song and his recent heel turn and stuff, I just haven't been as fond of him as I was when he had his normal thing going.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about each other about your guys' draft?
I think your show's awesome. I think you got a lot of top names on there. Yeah.
You know what? I do want to say if WWE did go out of their way to do things like this, obviously not bring in fucking AEW guys and shit, but I mean, invest in guys like Ziggler, Roode, and Cesaro and Nakamura. Dude, Cesaro and Nakamura, two great professional wrestlers. Shinsuke Nakamura could have been a world champion by now.
Where's the Lucha House Party? None of you guys drafted the Lucha House Party.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I was gonna bring in the Lucha House Party, and I was gonna bring in Chad Gable and all these cruiserweights. No. But I forgot to tell you, I was thinking about putting a cruiserweight title on my show.
Next, where's Swerve? Where's Kushida?
I had Swerve on my list.
Where is the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal?
Man, I love him. I honestly, ever since he's been gone, I just he blew over my mind.
It's hard to draft just 20 or 25 people.
Exactly.
There is stacked. Yeah. Also, I gave you guys wild card choices, which kind of threw things off a bit. I think it's hard, man. So, do you guys have any predictions for the actual draft that's coming up on Friday and Monday?
I just hope it's smart, and I hope it's like the 2016 draft where each show feels different. Smackdown felt like it was a totally different company at that point. You know what I mean? Raw felt, it was more surrounded by Kevin Owens and Jericho rivalry, where SmackDown had Styles, Cena, Ambrose, Ziggler, Miz, going at it. It felt different, you know what I mean? But I hope we get that feel now.
I don't know if they've been doing this lately, but if they haven't been, go back to doing separate creative teams for each show.
Yeah.
Do you see
it makes them feel different?
Any big jumps happening? Do you see a Roman and Heyman heading to Raw? Do you see a Drew McIntyre heading to SmackDown? Do you see Bayley? Do you see Bayley and Sasha splitting? Do you see Bray Wyatt? You think Bray Wyatt's going to Raw with Alexa?
Bray Wyatt and Alexa are going to Raw.
I think Daniel Bryan's also going to jump too.
Does the Monday Night Messiah go to SmackDown? Does Randy Orton go to SmackDown after this last match with Drew McIntyre?
I think Seth leaves. Seth 100% leaves. They've been teasing it on their Instagram, their .com site. Dude, it's meant to be.
It feels so weird though. The Monday Night Messiah.
I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be another character repackage of Seth, but we don't know yet.
Because it's hard to think that I know we're having a draft, but like at this very particular moment, like it's hard for me to like see anybody else on the other show. Like it's hard for me to see a SmackDown person going to Raw and a Raw person going to SmackDown. I don't know why.
I think the way we drafted should be the way it goes. I don't know. I just feel like me and Daniel's shows both feel different, like with the rosters.
Well, because know what it is about what we just did right now and what they did in 2016 was it was fully fresh.
This fucking feels fresh, 100%.
You know what it is? Right now it doesn't because it's just like we have seen a lot of people jumping back and forth. Like for some reason we have Kevin Owens feuding Bray Wyatt and they're on 2 different shows.
Yeah, I'm like they couldn't have just waited like for the draft like 1 week.
You know, so I don't know. I don't know any big predictions. Those things that I want to stay the same. Like I kind of want Roman to stay on SmackDown.
Me too. Yeah.
I feel like he's a top guy, and he'll be a top guy on Raw too. But there's something about him being on the 2-hour show that still makes him a little bit more likable. I would love to see Sasha stay on SmackDown and Bayley go to Raw, but that's tough because Bayley's the champ.
I wanted Daniel to draft the Usos just so he could continue the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I wanted you too.
I literally wrote them down.
And I'm like, okay, like we're close to the middle here. I don't think this guy's gonna take him. I'll just enhance my tag division.
No, I remember those points. I'm like, nobody drafted the Usos yet. Nobody drafted Sami Zayn. Nobody drafted Drew. I'm like, nobody drafted Ali or Ricochet. I'm like, what's happening here? And for a lot of people,
Drew completely blew over my head. I don't know how. Yeah. I forgot to put him on my list.
I had Drew in mind, but I was like, I need to get like the Ziggler or Bobby Roode guys out of the way.
You know, and that's the thing. That's the crazy thing is that if I was doing this draft, Ziggler and Bobby Roode would be people that'd be later in my draft, I think.
Really?
Yeah, but I know you're a big Ziggler fan.
I'm a big Ziggler mark, yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, for me, I was like, oh, that's shocking. Like we're having Ziggler and Roode here before Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and like.
I mean, they came after, but I still got them.
Oh no! One concept I always thought would be like really cool is if you did have separate creative teams in real life for these shows.
Do they not now?
They might. I'm just not 100% sure, but let's say that they do, right? And they're about to draft them. And this could like either be really smart, it could just go to complete shit. So I always thought, what would happen if the actual creative teams conducted a real draft?
Well, didn't they try to joke around and do that when the Fox thing happened? Like they had the Fox party.
But that was like I'm pretty sure that was kayfabe. I mean a shoot draft like.
The last draft it was just the boardrooms making the draft picks and Stephanie telling them
which I didn't mind. Like it gave it realism when it showed the
I just feel like having
the GMs.
Yeah. 2016 was better.
It felt big, man. It felt big.
I feel like
Daniel, Bryan, and Shane come out, then they had Stephanie and Foley come out there and make the picks. It just I don't know.
I just feel like it'd be something like new and fresh, and I feel like it'd bring some fans in, like old fans in too, because it's like we already know that like wrestling.
That Adam Pearce is the GM of both shows.
Yeah, like imagine if they did a shoot draft. I feel like it'd be something very interesting.
Because even when I was younger, I always enjoyed the drafts that were like Bischoff and Heyman on stage making. Yeah. I hated the randomizer thing coming up on the screen and then landing on someone. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't, because I'm like, if it's a draft, like someone needs to go out there and make the picks.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I know like the last one they tried to make it seem like Fox and USA were making the picks, but
which I didn't mind.
I didn't mind that.
It was okay. It was whatever.
You know what the one I really did enjoy though was when they actually never got to make the picks, but they were picking balls out of the thing and they open up and be like, "Oh, we got this person." Because it's more random.
2016's just hit so different because we went a few years with no brand split at all. And then we had Shane. And I like the idea of a commissioner and a general manager. Mm-hmm. I like that too.
And it just felt fresh. Like I don't know what they're gonna do after this brand split, but you know why I felt fresh? Because SmackDown and Raw had new intros, they had new logos, they had new looks.
Yeah.
Like,
everything was new,
new era. I always say, we'll wrap. I'll let you guys wrap this up after this is your guys' show. I don't know what I'm doing here. I always say that like I wouldn't mind if there was a draft every like 2 years. Because when it's every year, it just seems like it happens too fast.
That's true.
And like I remember because in 2002 when they did the draft, they didn't have their first draft until 2004. And don't get me wrong, in 2002, 2003, like there would be people jumping back and forth or getting traded, and that was okay. But then in 2004 that draft, and then 2005 did, and then when it started becoming a yearly thing, it's like then you can't run around and
It
have.
didn't feel important. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy the idea of conducting trades. I don't like the
100%.
wild card stuff, but conducting trades. I always thought even if they implemented like a trade deadline, that'd be cool.
100%.
I remember in video game Smackdown vs. Raw 2008, it was like GM mode, and then like you trade Triple H for like a John Cena, and then they're like, oh no, we don't accept
They
it.
can
And then
accept it. Yeah.
they can accept it, and then there would be they can do like a little storyline out of it, like, oh, I want Kevin Owens for AJ Styles, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go to Raw and shit, you know what I mean? And then
100%. I think there should be a draft like every 2, because then they do these dumb things. Like imagine they did the draft right now, like they just do the draft in October, and then next month they try to sell us in this brand supremacy thing. Why would anybody be loyal to any brand if they're getting drafted to a
They
different brand?
just got drafted.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like pay-per-views like bragging rights. Like who cares? Next year you might be on the other show. What matters? I like it when it feels like there's competition because there's 2 actual separate shows.
Right, and you speak of that because Survivor Series comes around every year, and last year we saw that really good pay-per-view, by the way. NXT blew it out of the water. Raw sucked. You know what I mean? And like NXT killed it, and it showed that like brands do matter.
Yeah.
But if it's used right, of course, like Triple H brought in his boys, wreaked havoc on Raw and SmackDown with Adam Cole, Yui, Ciampa, you name it. It was there.
It mixed up and it felt fresh, but I always say like you can't do that again this year because it's not going to feel fresh.
You just can. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not going to be the same.
It's going to be a repeat.
Yeah. And a lot of things from my childhood. I'm not talking about the 2000s, but like the 90s and the early 2000s. Like a lot of things felt cool because they happened once and they didn't happen all the time. I feel bad for the kids of the recent generation, like the last 10 years, because it seems like things happen all the fucking time. You have a Hell in the Cell pay-per-view and you're guaranteed Hell in the Cell matches. You have TLC pay-per-views and you're guaranteed TLC matches. I remember when that was like once a year and it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
and now they have a problem of just like doing things over and over again and making it like it's a thing. And that's, I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. Before I let you guys wrap up your guys' show,
Yeah, absolutely.
what would you guys think about maybe doing a side show next week where you guys book the first week of your television with these rosters?
I'm up for it. I
think it'd be very interesting, yeah.
100%, yeah.
Look at your rosters and see how you use these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I wish we
absolutely.
could do this. Yeah. I wish we could do this in like 2K or something. Like I'd go right now.
Play it out and like show
Play
it.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people go to YouTube and watch you guys' shows and vote which one is better.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, man. We'll see. We'll brainstorm some stuff, man. But thank you so much for hopping on as a guest moderator. We really appreciate that. We'd love to have you on again for like the first week of our shows. We can figure something out. Make sure you guys all tune in to the TWC show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you can listen to your podcast. Thank you so much for hopping on, and I hope you guys all enjoyed.
Make John Cena a jobber. I hope you guys have a good one. See you all later. Dig it.